Hello! Today is Friday, June 12th. It's already getting pretty late. Today is my usual drum update day, but since I've kind of just started working on fundamentals, stick control exercises, and the like, it's not really super interesting to record and to see, so I'm going to make a banana bread instead. I got I think it's 2 or 3 pounds of bananas at Costco for $2.50. It's a lot, and they're already turning brown, so much to the point where when I was just trying to get 3 off of the collection of 7 that I have, they already just started falling apart. So they're ready to be made into banana bread. So I already have everything laid out. I'm going to mix everything together and then just put everything in the oven, which is already preheating. I've just washed my hands, so you don't need to watch me do that on camera. And yeah, so I'll put things together in my way. So I'm using my King Arthur's Baking Companion. Pretty well loved. As you can see, the cover is ripping off, like entirely ripping off. Even the hardcover is ripping off. I've used this a lot over probably the last 20 years. More than that, actually. The cool thing about King Arthur flour, though, is all of their recipes are online for the most part. So if you go to, I think it's King Arthur flour, I can't remember what the name of the website is anymore. It used to be kingarthurflour.com, but it's slightly different than that now. But anyway, do a web search, King Arthur flour. All of their recipes are available online. If you look up banana bread, I think they have over 24 recipes for banana bread. This is the recipe I've used for years. It's pretty simple. So I like to wash utensils as little as possible. So we'll start by mixing dry ingredients. I have a separate bowl here for that. For dry ingredients, it is 2 2/3 cups of flour. So we'll start with that. I've already been out to dinner. Had a couple gin drinks. Not as much with my faculties as I might normally be. Plus, it's Friday and I'm exhausted, so... Anyway, so I like to kind of scoop up the flour and aerate it a little bit. And then scoop up about a level scoop. This is 1 cup. And again, kind of toss it around a little bit. 2 level cups. I think I'm also using this for something else too, so I may use another cup for my sugar actually, so I'm gonna pull that away. Measuring cups are a great gift for anyone that likes to cook or bake because you can't have too many, at least in my opinion. It's much easier to wash everything at the end, especially when you're measuring dry ingredients because things aren't really dry until they've sit for a while, at least in my opinion. Okay, 2 2/3 cups. That was 2 cups. This is a 1/3 cup, so 2 of these. All right, that's our flour. Actually, I don't need this again, so I will put it in the sink. And then we have teaspoons of each baking powder and baking soda. 1 teaspoon baking powder. Baking soda. I think it's a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm going to need that teaspoon again. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. All right. Whisk all that together. It smells really good, like cinnamon. I also like this recipe too because you can do it by hand. You don't need to use an electric mixer at all. Pretty simple. Okay, that's well enough to get mixed together. Then whisked together. That's the oven preheating to 350. All right, oil. It's 1/3 a cup of vegetable oil. This is canola oil from Trader Joe's. This is a very old measuring cup. It's hard to read the lines, although I found them recently. Okay, it's right here. Hang on a second. I found this earlier. Aha, right here. It's 1/3 a cup of oil. All right there. Also, while I have this open, I'm gonna grease the loaf pan. This is a 5 by 9 inch loaf pan, the exact size for this recipe. Just a little dollop of oil. You can also use butter, or if you have some sort of a spray oil, you can use that too. It's really just to help the loaf make its way out of the pan after it's been baked. Okay. All right, and with the oil, we mix in 1 cup of sugar and 2 eggs. I saw I got some shell in there. Got it. Okay. I'll wash my hands again real quick. All right. And it was 1 cup of sugar. Just regular granulated sugar here. Just whisking this together. Nice and easy. All right, and then bananas. Recipe says 2 to 3. I usually err on the more banana side. Then you end up with an especially moist cake, and it's very banana-y. And you want your bananas to be very ripe. Although I think, and I don't know if it's in this book, but I have read that you can actually mic your bananas if they're not quite ripe yet. You can mic them for like 30 seconds to help kind of accelerate the ripening process. And then I usually mash just with a fork. I used to bake a lot since I've worked in construction for most of my career. Work with a lot of men. And I have found that if I bring cookies or baked goods, it's a good way to get on people's good side. And I love to bake anyway, so everyone wins. It was always a thing. Working in engineering, I often worked for consulting firms, and whenever I would bake things and bring them into the office, people would always be like, oh, you're going to make me fat. And you bake things and bring them out in the field and give them to the guys working on the drill rigs and on the equipment. They'd be like, oh, thanks. Can I have some more, please? So it can be a little bit chunky still, which it still is a little bit chunky, but these bananas are very ripe, so mixed in very well. And then it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which is stuck. Okay. I'm going to start combining all the ingredients. Look, we're like not even 15 minutes in. We have almost everything all combined. Okay. Oil, blend in the mashed potato and bananas to this sugar, egg, and oil mixture. Ah, good enough. Good enough, good enough. All right, it's all mixed together. All right, then you add the dry ingredients and then you stir in the yogurt, buttermilk, or sour cream. And I have sour cream here. That's 1 cup of that you'll need, and that's probably close to about 1 cup left. This whole thing has 14 ounces in it, but I've used some of it already, so all right, that. I'm gonna switch out for a spatula, a silicone scraper spatula. Okay. Add in those dry ingredients. Fold those in there. Like, you don't want to over mix because then it's going to end up being kind of on the dense side. It's like pancake batter and cornbread, these quick breads. The rougher you are with them, the tougher the finished product will be. So basically just take it nice and easy. Might even still have a little bit of dryness in there, because once it sets and starts to bake, everything, all that liquid will soak in to the dry ingredients. It's just very important to make sure all of the dry ingredients are incorporated together, all the liquid ingredients are incorporated. And then here we add about a cup of sour cream. This is maybe a little bit more than a cup. Let's see, it's about 1/4 cup, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see, that's about a cup. Okay. But yeah, like banana bread, cornbread, coffee cake, pancakes. I'm going to try not to overwork your batter. It'll be tough. You want it to be tender. Sally, stay away from your sister's food. I see you over there. You think I'm distracted. Stay away from there, please. Thank you very much. All right. I think we're pretty good here, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it into this loaf pan. All right. Okay, again, that's good enough right there. Okay, and then this goes into the oven for 1 hour or until a cake tester comes out clean. I use a chopstick. Once you can stick a chopstick in the middle and it doesn't have any cake batter on it, then it's done. Again, just like you don't want to over mix it, you also don't want to over bake it, so just keep an eye on it. And I'll be back with finished product. Thanks. Be back in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hello. The timer is about to go off, although I have checked and put it back in the oven a couple times. So I took it out. The cake tester came out with lots of cake batter on it. I put it back in for 7 minutes, took it out again, still a little bit gummy inside, so I put it in for another 5 minutes. Mind you, every time you open and close the oven, you're releasing heat, so probably if I just put it in for 10 more minutes, after that first hour, it probably would have been good. So it's taken about an hour and 10 minutes to bake this. Timer's just about to go off. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay, so here we have our banana bread. Looks pretty good. Just needs to cool in the pan for a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes probably, and then you can turn it out onto this rack here entirely so it can cool outside of the pan. If you can't just dump it out, which I imagine this should come out just fine, doesn't look like it should be a problem, you can always loosen around the edges with a butter knife. Just be delicate with it. If it doesn't want to come out, let it sit for a while, let it cool a little bit more, and then try again. It is already getting very late in the evening, so I think I'm gonna call it here on this banana bread. While it was baking, I went downstairs and practiced playing the drums. And you know, funny thing, I've just been doing stick control exercises and playing with the metronome, and then I tried to do the We Will Rock You beat just for fun, and it was so much easier after doing all those fundamentals. Anyone who's watching this and gave me advice on what I should be practicing, learning how to play drums, you were absolutely right. I really just need to practice the fundamentals, and then the other stuff will be a little bit easier. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, I guess. Okay, bye.